Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. How are you dears? All are fine? Okay. Today, today we are going to discuss our new chapter. Can you say the name of our chapter? What's the name of our chapter? Huh? Yes. What is that? Which is our next chapter, new chapter? Give me. Yes, the forest lake. What's the name of our chapter? The forest lake. All of you open page number 106. Page number 106. The forest. The forest lake. The forest lake. Okay, then I think that you know about our Mowgli. Mowgli, have you heard about Mowgli? Then another, just like another character, we have Tarzan. Yes, here we have the story of Tarzan. Okay, Tarzan. All of you open page number 110. Edgar Rice Burroughs was an American writer best known for creating the characters of the jungle hero Tarzan and the heroic Mars adventure of John Carter, like that. Tarzan is a series of 24 adventure novels, of which Tarzan of the Apes is his first book. The series is popular even today and Tarzan is considered an icon. I know that we already know who Tarzan. Then here we have one story of Tarzan. Okay, it's a story from jungle. It's a story from jungle. Then all of you open again page number 107. Listen carefully. You know your exam is coming soon, your annual exam. Surely you can expect your annual exam February last. Okay. Then we want to complete 2 or 3 chapters. Then all of you listen carefully and study well. Okay. Then listen. When Tarzan was 10 years old, he was already an excellent climber. He could also do many things on the ground that his little brothers and sisters could not do. He was different from them in many ways. They often marveled at his cleverness, but in strength and size he was no match for them. At 10 years, apes were fully grown and some of them towered over 6 feet in height, while little Tarzan was still but a half-grown boy. Yet, such a boy? From early childhood, he had used his hands to swing from one branch to another, following the example of his mother, Kala. As he grew older, he spent hour upon hour speeding through the tree tops with his brothers and sisters. His life among these fierce apes had been happy. Okay, then have you seen the picture? Yes, here who took over, who looked after our Tarzan? Kala, one ape. Okay, this ape, have you seen? Yes, here Kala, the ape look after our Tarzan. Okay, then his siblings are ape, but he only different one because Kala got him in a jungle. Kala got Tarzan from jungle. Okay, then Kala look after whom? Kala look after this Tarzan and grown up with her other children. Actually, I told you that Kala is an ape and she has apes, right? Okay. When Tarzan was 10 years old, he was already an excellent climber. He could do also do many things on the ground that his little brothers and sisters could not do. He can do more than them. Who can? Tarzan can do more than that of his brothers and sisters had. He was different from them in many ways. We know that Tarzan is a human being, but others are apes. They often marveled at his cleverness, but in strength and size, he was no match for them. Actually, he was cleverer than his other apes, but he was brilliant also. And in the case of size, there is no match. At 10 years, apes were fully grown, and some of them towered. Towered means very large and just like a tower. Towered over 6 feet in height, while little Tarzan was still but a half-grown boy. Others are just like a tower, but here the little Tarzan was very small boy. Yet such a boy! From early childhood, he had used his hand to swing one branch to another. Have you seen the picture? He was swinging from one branch to another. He can do with his siblings. Following the example of his mother Kala, who Tarzan can do these all things by following his mother Kala. Then, as he grew older, what happened? He spent hours speeding through the treetops with brothers and sisters. Okay, then he also a speed person. Okay, what happened here? As he grew older, he spent hour upon hour speeding through the treetops with his brothers and sisters. Okay, speeding through the tops. Have you seen the picture? Yes. His life among these fierce apes had been happy. Fierce means strong and powerful enough to be frightening, very dangerous creatures, but he was very happy with them. Can you follow me? Yes. He did not remember any other life, nor did he know, and there was a big world filled with strange and new things outside his little forest. He don't know anything about the world. Okay, he don't know there is a world, there is a space, there is a place more adventure or more imaginative than this. He couldn't believe anything. ഇതിൽ കൂടുതലായിട്ടൊരു ലോകം അവനെ കാത്തിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളൊരു കാര്യമൊന്നും ആർക്കും അറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ ടാർസന് അറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു. He was nearly 10 before he started to realize that a great difference existed between himself and his brothers. At the age of 8, he understood that there is some difference in between them. Understood? There is some differences. We know, I told you that Tarzan is a human being, others are apes. Then at the age of 8, he understood that some differences between them. He did not resemble the great apes at all. He couldn't resemble. Okay, he couldn't resemble means he couldn't any match with these apes at all. And he tried to change this by plastering himself from head to foot with mud. He just tried what he did by realizing that he is more different from apes. What he did, all of you listen, he tried to change his body by plastering himself from head to foot with mud. Head to foot with mud. He want to resemble, he want to look like them. That's why what he did, he plastered some mud from head to toe. Understood? He want to resemble to them. He wanted to live like them. He want to look like them. Them means, who are them here? Apes. But what happened? He just plastered everything upon his body. But what happened? Plastering himself from head to foot with mud. But this dried and fell off. But what happened actually? It's dried and fell off. And beside it felt so uncomfortable that he quickly decided that he preferred the shame of being so different to his discomfort of drying mud. Then he understood that his reality and everything, then it's very discomfort of the drying mud. In the higher land, which is tribe liked to visit was a little lake. There is a little lake in higher land, and it was one on a sultry day. Sultry means, have you see the meaning? Yes, uncomfortably warm and with slightly wet air, very hot day. And the dry season that he had gone down to the bank to drink. He just gone to the higher place to drink water. As he leaned over, his little face was reflected in the still water of lake and the features of a little human boy. Have you seen the picture? When he want to drink some water, that's why he reached there, that upper place, and he just leaned, just looked into that pond. Then he understood that there is a great difference. That is that. What is that? He is a human boy. Okay. ബട്ട് റിയലൈസേഷൻ റൈറ്റ് അല്ലേ, പെട്ടെന്നാണ് അങ്ങനെ വെള്ളം കുടിക്കാൻ അവിടെ പോയി അങ്ങനെ നോക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് അവനൊരു മനുഷ്യക്കുട്ടിയാണെന്നുള്ള വിവരം അവന് അറിയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ടാർസൻ വാസ് ഷോക്ക്ഡ്. ദെൻ ദിസ് വാസ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം ഹി ഹാഡ് സീൻ ഹിസ് ഓൺ ഫേസ്. Understood? Okay, he began to studying his face closely. He just looked again and again to look sharply to this water, and he was looking so intently that he did not hear the parting of his tall grass behind him as a great body pushed itself through the jungle. Then he was what he was doing there, he was closely watching his face, and he want to study what is the speciality of his face, how he different from apes and everything. Then what happened? At that time he couldn't hear one person is coming by parting the grass. Have you seen? Yes, that is one Saber. Saber is the character. All of you listen. Saber, the huge lioness, stood 30 paces away. That means just going just near to Tarzan, and lashing her tail, and slowly she moved a great padded paw forward and placing it noisily, but before she lifted the next. Then she is, have you see the catch trying to catch his prey? Have you see? പൂച്ച മെല്ലെ പതുങ്ങി വന്നിട്ടാണ് അതിൻ്റെ പ്രേന അല്ലേ, ഇരയെ പിടിക്കുക അല്ലേ. അതുപോലെ ആരാണ് ഇവിടെ വരാൻ പോകുന്നത്? നമ്മുടെ സാബറാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ദെൻ ഷീ അഡ്വാൻസ്ഡ് ഹെർ ബെല്ലി low and almost touching the surface on the ground, and he great cat preparing to spring upon his prey. He just moved very slowly to attack our Tarzan, and now she was within 10 feet of the little fellow, and she was crouching so low. Then that means she is moving very slowly low to now she seemed flattened his earth. Then just in the ഇഴഞ്ഞ് എത്താണ്. Her tail lay quiet and straight behind her, and she crouched this way for a moment as though turned to a stone. Then with an awful scream she sprang. ഒരു സ്റ്റോൺ പോലെ മെല്ലെ നിന്നിട്ട് പെട്ടെന്ന് എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? ഒന്നായിട്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? സ്പ്രാങ് ചെയ്തു. Then what happened? Her wild scream was not a warning, but it was to make her victim freeze him fear. അത് വാർണിംഗ് കൊടുക്കാനല്ല, പകരം മുന്നിലുള്ള ഇര എന്താണ്? പേടിച്ചു വിറക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് അത് കൊടുത്തത്. Then what she did then? Listen. But this did not happen with Tarzan. Saber's scream pushed little Tarzan into immediate action. By hearing the scream, he never frightened. What he did? He got an immediate action. Before him lay the deep water of the little lake. Behind him certain death. Then he understood that in front of him that water, and behind, who is there behind? Yes, Saber, the death. Can you follow me? Yes. Then he had been taught by his wild mother to avoid. Then he think that his wild mother, who is his wild mother? Yes, Kala. Kala said that the waters of the lake, to avoid the waters of the lake. Don't touch. That means don't down to the water. But of the two evils faced now. Then he understood that mother told him that don't down to the water. Then he understood that what is that behind death, then water. Then he was in a confusion, dilemma. Then his quick mind chose his lesser one. Almost as soon as Saber's scream had broken in the silence of the jungle, Tarzan felt the cold waters close avoid his head. Then he just jumped into that cold water. He could not swim and the water was very deep. He moved his hands and feet rapidly and attempted to scramble upward, and he fell into the stroke as the dog uses when swimming. What is that here? Actually, Saber did not know how to swim. Then what he did, he just moving, all of you listen, he just moved his hands and feet rapidly in an attempt to scramble. Scramble means scramble upward, and he fell into the stroke that a dog uses when സ്വിമ്മിങ്. ഒരു ഡോഗ് വെള്ളത്തിലേക്ക് വീണാൽ എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുക, അതുപോലെയാണ് പിന്നെ ആര് ചെയ്തു തുടങ്ങിയത്. ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം Tarzan in the water, and he was very surprised and pleased with this new skill, but he had no time for thinking much about, but he is very happy because of this cold water and doing like this. He was very happy, but he couldn't think anything more. He was now swimming parallel to the bank, and he could see Saber there. He understood that if he could be swimming parallel to the bank, തീരത്തേക്ക് parallel ആയിട്ട് നീങ്ങുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ എന്താണുള്ളത്, Saber is there. The lioness was watching Tarzan and expecting him to return to shore. That surely the Tarzan know that Saber know that surely Tarzan will come soon. But the boy had no intention of doing this, but boy is enjoying in the water. Instead, he raised his voice in the call of distress. Call of distress means a sound made to tell someone that you are in trouble. Who called? Yes, here Tarzan make a sound. Okay, we know that some animals are like that. Animals are like that. If any person, any animal in a trouble, surely it can make one noise. It can make one voice, and others may come for taking them from that trouble. Then here, all of you listen. Instead, he raised his voice in the call of distress common to his tribe. അവൻ്റെ ട്രൈബ്, അവൻ്റെ ഗോത്രത്തിലെ, അവൻ്റെ ടീമിലെ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് മനസ്സിലാകുന്ന രീതിയിൽ അവരെന്താണ് ചെയ്യല്, ട്രബിളിൽ പെടുമ്പോൾ എന്താണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ആ ഒരു സൗണ്ട് ആരുണ്ടാക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി, Tarzan. Almost immediately, there come an answer from the distance, and presently 40 or 50 great apes swung rapidly through the trees towards the pool. Then who came? 40 and 30 numbers of apes swung to help our Tarzan. And in the leader was Kala, his mother, for she had recognized the voice of her child. She understood the sound of her boy, her child. That's why she was the leader of that team. Though more powerful than apes, the lioness did not want to meet these enraged adults. Enraged means ഇത്രയും ദേഷ്യം പിടിച്ചു വരുന്ന apesനെ ഏറ്റവും മുട്ടാനുള്ള കഴിവ് ആർക്കില്ലായിരുന്നു, സേബറിന് ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു. That's why he just returned with a snarl of hatred, with a growling sound, hatred, just like because he was because he missed his prey, and she sprang quickly into the bushes and disappeared. He just returned to where? Yes, into the bushes. Tarzan quickly swam to shore and climbed onto dry land, and the feeling of freshness which the cool waters had imparted to him filled him with surprise, that gratefulness, that freshness, that cold water's freshness. It's the first time he was bathing, right? Yes, then that gave a great experience to him, and after he missed no chance to take a daily swim in the lake or stream or ocean when it was possible to do so. That day onwards, he never missed one bath in a day. Understood? For a long time, Kala could not understand this, for though her people could swim when forced, then did not like like to enter water voluntarily. Then here the our Tarzan don't know what happened to our friends, because of then no one like to enter water voluntarily. ആരും voluntarily എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ, തനിയെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ആർക്കും മുന്നിട്ടിറങ്ങാം. അപ്പോൾ എന്താ, ആരും എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല, അവർ voluntarily done, made or given willingly without being forced or paid. ആരും എന്ത് ചെയ്യാതെ, ആരും കമ്പൽ ചെയ്യാതെ ഇപ്പോഴും എന്താണ് അവരുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ വെള്ളത്തിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങാത്തത് എന്ന് ആലോചിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോഴും എന്താണ്, കാലക്ക് സർപ്രൈസ്ഡ് ആണ്. ആരെങ്കിലും ഫോഴ്സ് ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമേ അവരുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ ഇപ്പോഴും വെള്ളത്തിൽ ഇറങ്ങുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷേ ആ വെള്ളത്തിൽ ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ടുള്ള ആ ഫ്രഷ്നെസ് ആർക്ക് മാത്രമേ കിട്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളൂ, ടാർസന് മാത്രമേ കിട്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളൂ. Then the adventure with the lioness gave Tarzan many enjoyable memories. Adventures with the lioness. Who is that lioness? Saber. It's give more enjoyable memories. For each were these adventures that added excitement his daily life. It's gave excitement also to his daily life. Otherwise it was just a dull round of searching for food, eating and sleeping. എന്താണ്, ആ ഒരു ലയണസ് ഉണ്ടായതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് അവൻ്റെ ജീവിതം ഇത്രയും എന്തായത്, അനുഭവങ്ങൾ നിറഞ്ഞതായത്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ otherwise it will just like eating food, searching food, eating food and sleeping. But because of Saber, he experienced a lot in his life. Okay, understood dears? Understood? Okay, all of you read with me. When Tarzan was 10 years old, he was already an excellent climber. He could also do many things on the ground that his little brothers and sisters could not do. He was different from them in many ways. They often marveled at his cleverness, but in strength and size he was no match for them. At 10 years, apes were fully grown, and some of them towered over 6 feet in height, while little Tarzan was still but a half-grown boy. Yet such a boy! From early childhood, he had used his hands to swing from branch to branch, following the example of his mother, Kala. As he grew older, he spent his hour upon hour, speeding through the tree tops with his brothers and sisters. His life among these fierce apes has been happy. He did not remember any other life, nor did he know that there was a big world filled with strange and new things outside in his little forest. He was nearly 10 before he started to realize that a great difference existed between himself and his brothers and sisters. He did not resemble the great apes at all. He tried to change this by plastering himself from his foot with mud. But this died and fell off. Besides, it felt so uncomfortable that he quickly decided that he preferred the shame of being so different to the discomfort of the drying mud. In the higher land which his tribe liked to visit was a little lake. It was on a sultry day of the dry season that he had gone down to the bank to drink. As he leaned over, his little face was reflected in the still water of the lake, the features of a little human boy. Read all of you. Speed up. Read. Speed. Completed? All of you read loudly. Okay. Then question answers I will give you through our WhatsApp group. Okay. Then next is our adverbial clause. Grammar session. Adverbial. What is that? Adverbial clauses. The word itself. Adverb means, what is the meaning of adverb? Adding something to our verb. Then all of you listen. Adverb clause is a group of words which contains a subject and a verb of its own, and it does the work of an adverb. Read the sentences. Tarzan realized that he looked different wherever he went. But a subject undavum, adinu adindeyayulla oru verb undavum, but does not work of an adverb. Then adverbial clause of place aanu wherever le evide aayirunnu wherever he evide avan poyalu le appo evide ennallathu endine kanikkunathu place ne aanu kanikkunathu. But I feel fine if I take swim. എന്താണ് adverbial clause of condition അല്ലേ? If I were you, what is that? If actually നമ്മുടെ എന്താണ് conditional clause ആണ് അല്ലേ? Then here that is adverbial clause of condition. You would be in trouble because you would not able to hear anything behind you. Adverbial clause of reason. Reason-നെയാണ് കാണിക്കുന്നത്. Okay. Next, before you leave, tell me where you are going. Adverbial clause of time. Okay. Then before ഇവിടുന്ന് പോകുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ അതെന്തിനാണ് കാണിക്കുന്നത്? Adverbial clause of time. Although Kala did not like him swimming, the water made Tarzan feel fresh and cool. Adverbial clause of, that is adverbial clause of concession. What is that? Although Kala did not like him swimming. Right. That shows concession ആണ് കാണിക്കുന്നത്. Then here we have some examples. All of you listen. And why, where, how, then we can, all of you listen again. The words in color in the work of an adverb, and they are adverbial clauses. Thus we can call adverbial clauses, and with a subject and a verb. In the sentence, the clause tells about the place, and the sentence 3 then talking about which are the things. We already mentioned, we already said, what is that? Adverbial clause of place, adverbial clause of condition, adverbial clause of reason, and adverbial clause of time, and adverbial clause of concession. Surely we can expect these kind of sentences in our daily life and also in our this exercise. All of you listen. Underline the adverbial clause of time. Could you wait outside until I call you? Have you seen? Next, remember to get home before it is dark. While our principal played the piano, we are sang in chorus. You may start when you are ready. All of you listen. Could you wait outside until I call you? That until I call you is the adverbial clause of time. Then before it is dark, that is what? What is that? That is adverbial clause of time. While our principal played the piano, we all sang in chorus. What is the adverbial place of clause of time there? While our principal played the piano, right? You may start when you are ready. When you are ready is the adverbial clause of time. Understood? അപ്പോൾ ഏതൊക്കെ അണ്ടർലൈൻ ചെയ്യണ്ടേ? Before it is dark, while our principal played the piano, when you are ready. Okay. Choose the correct words or phrases to complete the sentence. Rewrite the sentences in your notebook and mention the type of adverbial clause. We keep our food in the fridge so that it does not bad. What is that? Since ana, so that, although, after. That is so that. Yes, it shows what it shows. That is adverbial clause of purpose. Purpose. It shows adverbial clause of purpose. Dash, these bags are inexpensive. They can a long time. Although, right, although ആണ് എന്നിരുന്ന ബാഗ്സ് ആർ ഇൻഎക്സ്പെൻസീവ് എന്നിരുന്നാലും ഇതിന് വില കുറവാണ് എന്നിരുന്നാലും എന്താണ് ഇത് നന്നായിട്ട് നീണ്ട് നിൽക്കും. വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദാറ്റ്? ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ച ഒരു 5 ഇതിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും വരുന്നുണ്ടോ നോക്കിയേ. യെസ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് adverbial clause of concession. You need proper shoes to go hiking in Darjeeling. What we can use? Dash in the ground is rough and hard because, so that, even though, before. Because, right, yes, Darjeeling, because the ground is rough and hard. What is that? Yes, it's adverbial clause of reason. Hockey players wear a lot of protective clothing dash not to get hurt. In order to, hockey players wear a lot of protective clothing in order to not get hurt. Then here reason. You will have to pay more money dash you buy a big car. If you buy a big car. Okay, that is adverbial clause of condition. You shouldn't exercise dash having a full meal. If, in order that, even though, after. After, right, after. Adverbial clause of time. That is adverbial clause of time. Appo first one adverbial clause of purpose. Second one although, adverbial clause of concession. Third one because, adverbial clause of reason. Next one in order to, adverbial clause of reason. Then fifth one if, adverbial clause of condition. Sixth one after, adverbial clause of time. Okay. All of you listen vocabulary. Here we have 5 verbs to do with quick movement. What is that? Rattling, moving quickly and making a lot of noise. Adana rattling enna word inde meaning. Bubbling, flowing like a stream while making a gurgling sound. ഒരു gurgling sound എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പുഴയൊക്കെ ഒഴുകുന്ന സൗണ്ട് ഇല്ലേ, ആ ഫ്ലോയിങ് സൗണ്ട്, ആ സൗണ്ടോട് കൂടി ഒഴുകുന്നതാണ് bubbling. Then leaping, moving quickly with energy, സ്പീഡിൽ പോകുന്നതാണ് എന്ത്? leaping. Then flitting, what is? moving about rapidly but in a nimble way. Darting, moving suddenly and rapidly, that is darting. Then complete these sentences with the correct words from the list on the previous page. We could hear the sweet sound of the bubbling brook nearby. Then 2, 3, 4, 5 is your homework, and here we have one small spelling game also. That also your homework. Okay, knees, wave, peace, neigh, faint, brief, rein, anxiety. You know the spelling of these all things. You want to check whether it is EI or AI. Okay, EI or IE. Okay, my dears, you want to check. Then here we have to a writing session. What is that? Writing session. All of you listen. A summary is a condensed version of another piece of writing. It's shorter than original. Summary എഴുതാന്ന് കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? എങ്ങനെ summary എഴുതാ? അതേപോലെ അങ്ങോട്ട് പകർത്തുകയാണോ? അല്ല. It's shorter than its actual content. It's shorter than original. By hearing a story, after reading a story, surely we have one idea about that story. We are writing then that story based on our idea. റൈറ്റ് അല്ലേ? ഇപ്പം നമ്മളൊരു കഥ കേട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കഥ വായിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ നമ്മളുടേതായ രീതിയിൽ എഴുതും അല്ലേ? അതാണ് സമ്മറി. അത് അതേപോലെ അങ്ങോട്ട് പകർത്തി എഴുതാണോ? അല്ല, നമ്മൾ നമ്മളുടേതായ രീതിയിൽ ആവിഷ്കരിച്ച് അത് നമ്മൾ എഴുതും അല്ലേ? ദെൻ ഇറ്റ് കണ്ടെയ്ൻസ് ഓൺലി ദ മെയിൻ ഐഡിയാസ് ഓർ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് സപ്പോർട്ടിംഗ് ideas. It skips most if not at all examples and no other details, and it is written in your own words. അതെങ്ങനെയാണ്? നമ്മൾ വേർഡ്സ് തന്നെയാണ് എഴുതുക. ഓക്കെ, then when we check, we want to summarize one article. Obviously അല്ലേ, നമ്മൾ ന്യൂസ് പേപ്പറിലൊക്കെ ആർട്ടിക്കിൾസ് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? ഓരോരുത്തർ എഴുതുന്നതിലെ ഒരു സബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരു ചെറിയ ടോപ്പിക്കിനെ കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ നന്നായിട്ട് എഴുതുന്നത് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ, ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ അല്ലേ? then first read the entire article. ആദ്യം സമ്മറി എന്തിൻ്റെ സമ്മറി എഴുതണമെങ്കിലോ ആദ്യം നമ്മൾ നന്നായിട്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? വായിക്കണം. then determine what the author's main idea. In the case of article, surely you want to check what is the author's, ഈ എഴുതിയ ആളുടെ മെയിൻ ഐഡിയ എന്താണെന്നുള്ളത് ആദ്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. then express the main idea in one sentence. ഒരു സെൻറ്റൻസിൽ എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുക. then next divide the article into major parts and its minor, like that, using one or two sentences of each part describing that author is trying to say. So then here make sure your description moves smoothly from one to next. But nannayittu first we want to read that article and carefully, then surely we can summarize that article easily. Okay, then have you see that the haunted tree? All of you listen, or all of you want to read the summary first. Okay, then you have your third homework, that is you want to write one summary of our forest lake. Okay, you want to write one summary of forest lake. How we can write summary of forest lake? അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കഥ നന്നായിട്ട് മനസ്സിലായി. ഇനി നമ്മളുടെ രീതിയിൽ ആ കഥയുടെ മെയിൻ ഐഡിയാസ് ഒന്നും പോവാതെ എഴുതാം. Okay, all of you, then I think you can do easily this because you understood the story well. Then surely you want to read the story 3 times. Then you got all the main ideas. Then you can write the story of your own words. Okay, my dears. Then which are the things we studied today? We took our new chapter, the forest lake, and its grammar, adverbial clause of time, reason, etc. Then we check. Give me different meaning words. Then you want to fill that blanks. Then next is our a small spelling game. Then at last we want to write one summary of the forest lake. Okay, then don't forget to do today itself and send in our WhatsApp group today itself. Okay, my dears, study well. Inshallah I will give you the question answers soon. Okay, thank you.